Israeli strikes in southern Lebanon leave at least 14 dead. Trump rolls out the red carpet for Saudi's MBS, a reset fueled by deals and diplomacy. At least 19 killed in Russian attacks across Ukraine. Tinubu condemns Kebbi schoolgirl's abduction and General Uba's death. Good afternoon. Welcome to The World in 30 Minutes on Politics and Business Television. I'm Fatima Abubakar Oyibo. Many thanks for joining us. Details of this news stories and more content to come after the short break. Stay with us. The economic pledge stole headlines. Saudi Arabia is committing up to $1 trillion in investment into the U.S., according to both Trump and MBS, to fund projects in tech, AI and materials. But the visit wasn't without controversy. Trump defended MBS over the 2018 killing of Jamal Khashoggi, stating that the Crown Prince knew nothing about it, while MBS described the incident as a painful, huge mistake and pledged reforms. Their warm demeanor was on full display, with both leaders exchanging hand gestures and platitudes, underlining Trump's portrayal of MBS not just as a strategic partner, but a genuine friend. In a major escalation of military cooperation, the United States has confirmed the sale of an advanced missile defense system to Taiwan, valued at approximately $698.9 million. The deal centers on the National Advanced Surface-to-Air Missile System, NASAMS, a medium-range air defense solution developed by RTX and battle-tested in Ukraine. The Pentagon has awarded a firm fixed-price contract for the construction and delivery of NASAMS fire units, with completion scheduled for February 2031. These systems are expected to integrate with Taiwan's existing air defense network, supported by new radar installations to provide a robust multi-layered shield. U.S. officials cast the sale as a reaffirmation of rock-solid commitment to Taiwan's security amid growing regional tensions with China. Beijing, which claims Taiwan as its territory, has repeatedly condemned U.S. arms sales to the island, warning of serious diplomatic and security repercussions. As the UK braces for its next budget, speculation is mounting that some of the country's wealthiest are packing their bags, blaming upcoming tax rises on their exits. Changes to non-dom tax system, which until recently allowed long-term residents to shield foreign income and gains from UK taxes, have stirred anxiety among high net worth individuals. Reports suggest that as many as 16,500 millionaires could leave Britain in 2025, according to a migration wealth study. But experts caution that the so-called exodus may be overstated despite vivid headlines. There's no definitive official data confirming a mass flight. Many of the stories come from wealth managers and media outlets, not HMRC itself. And some researchers argue that the number of non-doms leaving remains within expected bounds. Moreover, long-term wealth holders are often deeply attached to UK's cultural life, schools and institutions, factors that go beyond tax rate considerations. Still, there are signals that the Treasury is worried. Advisors report billions worth of assets being moved overseas. Meanwhile, Chancellor Rachel Reeves is reportedly considering a settling up charge on departing billionaires and a mansion tax on ultra-high value homes, a clear indication that the government is preparing to respond. As Britons look ahead to Brexit, the debate over whether the super rich are genuinely fleeing or simply threatening to continue to dominate headlines. Meanwhile, Russian forces launched a heavy overnight barrage of missiles and drones across Ukraine, resulting in the deaths of at least 19 people, according to Ukrainian officials. Reports indicate that the strikes targeted energy and transport infrastructure in multiple regions, with a particularly devastating hit on an apartment building in Ternopil, where upper floors were destroyed and fires broke out. According to Ukrainian authorities, more than 470 drones and 48 missiles were used in the assault, leading to widespread damage and prompting emergency power cuts amid freezing temperatures. President Volodymyr Zelensky condemned the attacks, calling for international pressure on Russia and urging allies to supply Ukraine with stronger air defense systems in response. In the meantime, Poland has announced it will shut down Russia's final consular mission in the country. The general consulate in Gdansk after a railway explosion was blamed on Moscow. Authorities say 2 Ukrainian nationals working for Russian intelligence carried out the attack attack on a rail line between Warsaw and Lublin, calling it not just a sabotage but state terrorism. Foreign Minister Radoslaw Sikorski stated that Poland is withdrawing its consent for the consulate's continued operation. He warned that this step, while symbolic, is part of a broader strategy to reduce hostile actions from Russia, and he has called on EU partners to restrict Russian diplomats' movement within the Schengen area. Moscow has strongly rejected the accusations accusing Warsaw of Russophobia. The Kremlin described the closure as an escalation in diplomatic tensions and warned of retaliatory measures. Moving to Asia, China has announced a suspension of all seafood imports from Japan, marking a sharp escalation in the ongoing diplomatic dispute between the two nations. The decision reportedly comes in response to recent remarks by Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi regarding Taiwan, which Beijing views as a threat to its territorial claims. Chinese authorities cited concerns over Japan's release of treated water from Fukushima nuclear plant and warned that further countermeasures could follow if Tokyo does not retract its statement. The ban highlights the fragility of China-Japan trade relations and how quickly diplomatic tensions can impact economic exchange. Well, in the wake of former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's death sentence by Bangladesh's International Crimes Tribunal, bereaved families of the July 2024 uprising are speaking out, not satisfied until the punishment is carried out in their presence. They say that verdict alone, without her physical return to Bangladesh and public execution, is not real justice. Thousands more are echoing the sentiment. Bubur Rahman's Nigdo, whose brother was shot dead, urged authorities to enforce a sentence swiftly and publicly. Several others spoke of their dissatisfaction with lighter sentences meted out to their other perpetrators. One of the mothers says justice will be served the day it is executed, and also declared that even 1,000 death sentences would be insufficient, but a person can be executed only once. And coming back to Africa, President Bola Tinubu expressed deep dismay over the abduction of 25 schoolgirls from the government girls' comprehensive secondary school in Maga, Kebbi State, calling it a tragic security breach that has disrupted education of innocent children. He lamented that the attack occurred despite intelligence warnings and has ordered security agencies to act swiftly to ensure the girls' safe return. Tinubu also sent his condolences to the Nigerian military and the family of Brigadier General Musa Uba, who was killed while on active duty fighting insurgents. The president described Uba's death as a heavy loss to the nation and prayed for comfort for his loved ones, urging greater cooperation between communities and security forces. Tinubu called on Nigerians, especially in high-risk areas, to share intelligence that could help prevent future attacks. He has directed Vice President Kashim Shettima to visit Kebbi State to consult parents and reassure them of the government's commitment to resolving the crisis. And that wraps up the program, but before we go, the headlines again. Israeli strikes in southern Lebanon leave at least 14 dead. Trump rolls out the red carpet for Saudi's MBS, a reset fueled by the deals and diplomacy. At least 19 killed in Russian attacks across Ukraine. Tinubu condemns KB schoolgirls' abduction and General Uba's death. For more updates and in-depth analysis, follow Politics and BusinessTV.English on YouTube and Facebook. Connect with us on Instagram at PMBTV_English and TikTok at PMBTV_ENG. Remember to subscribe and stay informed. From me, Fatima Abubakar Oyibo, to have a lovely day. Bye for now.